Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for May 23, 2022, the Elon Antics edition. And we begin with that story from Reuters, who suggests that the Tesla brand has been criticized by recent antics of Elon Musk, including his harassment, the claim of harassment brought against him, or rather made public recently, and his criticism of the Democrats. The billionaire's comments on politics and this sexual harassment claim, which he says are untrue, may hurt the brand in the eyes of some car owners and employees. Musk denied a report that he sexually harassed someone, but no comment on whether he authorized payment. So Musk's response to all of this has been just to attack more. And whether that impacts his or the value of Tesla shares, Reuters says perhaps. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Richard Vanderpoort reporting, Arthur Hayes, co-founder and former CEO of the cryptocurrency derivative exchange BitMex, has been sentenced to serve 6 months of house arrest for violating U.S. sanctions by failing to establish a compliant anti-money laundering program. He has already paid a $10 million penalty in connection with the settlement. The judge held the violations were serious, but didn't warrant more than a year in prison that the prosecutors had sought. This is a closely watched test of the U.S. power to impose banking rules on offshore crypto exchanges. Next up, from the New York Times, a very interesting article drawing a straight line from Jack Welch's reign at GE to Elon Musk's Twitter feed. The one-time manager of the century, Jack Welch, allegedly paved the way for CEOs to moonlight as internet trolls. The article is a really interesting piece, which suggests that by taking more of an active role in this type of commentary, Jack Welch really laid the foundation for this. This is the reporter has written several corner office columns, and it's clear to him that Jack Welch looms over the corporate world, and this is an interesting way to tie things together to our current time. And our final story is the UK government released guidance to prove that your business and supply chain are free from bribery and corruption. So check that out. You can download it for free. You can benchmark your program against this. And if UK regulators come knocking, it may give you some way to present to them that you are in compliance with the UK Bribery Act. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.